First, we'll start with locking the white matter here. And I'm not sure what that is, but well, let's get rid of that for now. So, create a polygon primitive cube. I've kind of got an idea, I think, how big this needs to be. So if we look here, you can see I have 1 unit. So I want to basically make this lateral horn that's called, and the isthmus there, the commissure right there. So I want to go from about the midpoint up to about there. So that's, let's say, a half. Height-wise, it's going to end up being very, very long, so it doesn't really matter. Right now I'm going to keep it simple. I find if I make it too long, it's more difficult to duplicate and put it together. The depth, you probably can go to like 1/4. The number of divisions definitely want as 3. So if we create that, well, we're not too far off, but we can adjust it. We'll scale this down, move it over. So the three divisions was designed to give 3 faces that I could extrude. One for the lateral horn, one for the anterior, and one for the posterior, or dorsal. So I'm going to move the rectangle in relative position. It's still a little big, so let's scale it a little smaller. Okay. And I think that's close enough. We'll start there. Maybe take this edge, move it out a little way so I'd have a width consistent with that anterior horn. Okay, and what we'll do is change our, let's go to channel box, and we'll change the panel layout to 2 panes side by side so I can see okay, so you can see my very far down there, right? And I've got myself oriented this way, so I'll get my perspective view to match my orientation. Okay, so first thing, let's get a face here, right here, and let's extrude it. And take it out, pull it over, take it out to the edge, if you will, pull it over. I have to concentrate to focus on remembering to use the extrusion tools and not to drop the extrusion. So once I get to here, I want to be able to left mouse and drag and add divisions so I can decide what I might want to do with this. Okay, so for example, now that I've got that divisions, grab that. I'm going to hold down the letter D, turn my orientation so that I'm matching the long axis, if you will. Same thing, letter D, hold it down, turn that. So that's temporary. It doesn't really it doesn't stay that way, but it does give me a little. I have to adjust it in other words each time, but it does give pretty decent. All right, so again, depending what vertebral level you choose, you're going to get a different, not a dramatically, but you're going to have a pretty decently different pattern. Here, I'm going to take the face again from my perspective window. Again, reorientate my. Then you notice that it's quite narrow there, so I'll move it that position and maybe go back. Now this is the we're working in the rough level, the #1 setting, so I'm not sure I want to get too tight because when I hit 3, see it's going to shrink. Okay, so I've got that. As far as the lateral horn, I think that I can basically just grab that facing laterally and just scale it and maybe move it in a little bit. Looks like it actually goes back, so maybe we'll take that back. Take this edge, move that back a little bit. Even here, looks like it could go back a little bit. Okay, and then I think these faces, the connoisseur needs to be narrowed, and then let's grab that interior face and put it, rotate a little bit so I kind of face that long axis and maybe pull it out. But that's the base I'm seeing of this broader gray. And then again, we'll just extrude it. And I'll bring it out to the edge, rotate it, position it where I think is right, and then add some divisions. Okay, and then we'll do the exact same process. Letter D to reorientate. So this appears at this level to be almost like a little thin fibers, and I'm not going to try to create that kind of narrowness, but I will try to make this approximate more of that shape. So I'll bring this up, kind of get a little more of a dome. And again, I'll grab that front face and scale it after I rotate to reposition. Okay, and I'll say that's about what we get. So that's the base, and then I'm going to build off of that to develop the rest of it. Now, one thing I do, let's see, I really don't want this to be quite so wide, so I am going to make it a little smaller. Okay, and then I don't want it actually penetrating. We're going to pretend that the Dura, we've got the Dura on here, so I want to, if you will, hide the, oops, sorry, want to hide the gray matter inside. Reality, and it's going to create, let's pull out. And then for the opposite end. So you can see that at one dimension I really haven't adjusted. If you look at my perspective window here, you can see how tall that is. And that's okay, because I'm going to end up using it.